We're good to go.
Amazing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Natalie Cutler-Welsh here. We are live on live stream and we are talking to today. We are going to be doing the Wake Up Your Woo interview. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I can hear myself in echo. I don't know if that's on yours.
No, I can't hear. I can hear your echo. I can't hear it over here though.
I'm so excited.
Maybe it's because your Facebook is open, Nat. Figured it out.
All right, everyone, welcome back. This is Natalie Cutler-Welsh here from Wake Up Your Woo. I'm so excited. In this series that I'm doing, we dive deep on all things holistic, spiritual, for life, business, and wellness. And today I'm so excited to have my beautiful guest, Malaine Leah Butler, here with me. How are you, Malaine?
I'm so good. So happy to be here, Natalie. Thanks for having me.
You know, it's awesome that the topic we're going to dive in today, which is all about alignment. You and I both love the word align. We both use it in our businesses. But we're going to talk today about aligning to your unique energy type and design. So for those of you that don't know Malaine, she's an alignment coach for human design, wealth amplifier, mother of 5, and you help women create freedom in their lives and really stay focused on their family as well. So before we dive in, can you, in your own words, give us a little bit of backstory? Who is Malaine?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you the condensed version because we can be here all day just going into my bio. But yeah, you know, what Natalie touched upon is I support women in being able to fully align to who they really are, you know, and through human design, we do the energy work around that. And then in other areas, we dive into, you know, aligning them to their truth, to who they authentically desire to be, who they authentically want to express themselves as. And then as a byproduct, here's what happens. The money flows in, the job feels more satisfying, the relationships feel more satisfying, the weight gets released, like all those other things are the byproduct. So we don't focus on the byproduct in the work that I do. We focus on the internal landscape, getting that really squeaky clean and aligned, and then the reality starts to shift. And so I've been doing this work for the past 8 years, running my own business. Amongst those 8 years, I became a mother again and again and again and again. So that's another identity of mine that I really love. And something that Natalie and I always relate about is that we're entrepreneurs and boss ladies, but we're also mothers. And I also really love supporting women to creating a life that feels rhythmic and harmonious for them so that they can be the amazing present mother and also be the amazing boss woman, because both of them feed the woman and who she is, and there shouldn't be a compromise. So I'm really all about the both ands conversation. And yeah, you know, life is good. I'm an American living in New Zealand. And what else should I share about me, Nat?
Well, that's awesome. I mean, the one word that you mentioned there, identity, I think really comes up a lot, not just for women, you know, not just for people that are mothers, but as we go through life, as we navigate, we change, you know, hats, we wear many hats, we change roles. And I think often we start to judge ourselves according to, like, I thought I would be doing this by now, or I like me, like, right, I was a projects manager and then I became a mother and I thought I had to keep telling everyone how important my old job was, you know, like it's so funny. So I think this really weaves so nicely into today's topic, which is about aligning with who you are. And we're looking at human design, and I'm going to get you to explain, like, what is human design, but my understanding, and I've got these posters on my wall. Some of you might have seen them on my Instagram, because I actually got the human design done for every member of my family as their birthday rolled around, you know, a few years ago. I got them all done. And I've always been fascinated with understanding humanity, understanding myself, understanding others, how they work, how they operate, how they see the world, not so that we can put people in a box and judge them, but so that we can come into alignment and understand each other and more, so that we can judge each other less and understand each other more and have more quality relationships and a better experience while we're here on this earth. So that's my take on it. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, totally. And you know, something else that I should say is that, so for the 8 years that I've been doing the work with women, working with hundreds of women, something that I saw happening prior to really incorporating and getting certified in human design, and then incorporating that in all my teachings, because I saw the importance of it and kind of this missing piece for so many women, is that I was working with them on alignment, and I'd give all the same tools to the same exact people. They'd start at the same starting line. They'd be doing the same tools, same steps, going all in. It wasn't that one person wasn't going as much in as the other person, and someone would get further than the other. And it kept baffling me and also just frustrating me, because when people work with me, I want everyone to win. I want, max results for them. I want them to get an ROI on their investment. And so it's really frustrating to see someone that shows up, does all the work, goes all in, because there are people that don't go all in, and that's a different story. Mm-hmm. But the person that goes all in, does all the work, and then doesn't get the results, what's going on? And what I found is that it's because they're not in alignment with their energy type, with their unique human design. And so what human design is, it is basically the science of your auric field. So our aura is our energy that's emitting from our physical being. And that's about 3 feet above our, around our bodies. And so people are like, oh my God, that's so woo, that's so out there. And I'm like, well, actually it's not. There's a science to this. We are energy beings. Everything is comprised of energy. It's kind of basic science 101. And so human design is a combination of ancient studies that allows you to understand how your aura works and interacts with the universe. Because what's happening is, before I even speak to Natalie, when I'm in a room with her, our auras are connecting and speaking to each other. Now, there's 5 different energy types, and each energy type's aura interacts differently with the universe, right? Has different strategies in how it works. And then it gets even deeper and deeper. So what I like to say is that we keep human design and the discussion today simple, so that you can apply it and really implement it into your life, and you'll see major shifts. But the more you start to go deep, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper with human design and really understand how you uniquely work and how you can best thrive in the universe, because it's not meant to be hard. It's meant to be easy, and it's meant to be a lot of fun. And what I like to say is that your soul is deconditioned when it comes into this universe. It knows exactly what it wants. It knows exactly what it needs. And what happens, where the kind of block happens, is when these different conditionings come in. Oh, I need to speak like that. Oh, I need to answer like that. Oh, I need to think about my decisions, etc. Those things come in and block up your auric field. So your soul's like, I know I want a lot of money, or I know I want to have a husband, or I know I want to lose weight. And your aura's like this. It's totally blocked up with all these other things. And the universe is like, I think I hear her saying it, but I can't really see her. And so each energy type has a way of deconditioning and clearing out that aura, so that the universe can actually hear what your soul wants and can drop it in to your reality.
I think also part of that, and we see it a lot in the entrepreneurial world, but just generally with humanity, right? Comparisonitis, right? When people compare themselves to others. So they're like, oh, she's doing it this way. Maybe I should do it that way. And you're like, no, honey, she's a manifester. You're a projector. Yeah, it's not going to work. Right. So totally. I think, obviously I went to your masterclass the other day, which was amazing, which is one of the reasons I was so excited for this topic. I want to share with my audience, a little bit of, we're going to give them a little golden glimpse into the world of human design today. Yes. And then I know you've got a 3-day thing that I definitely want to mention as well. Yeah. But can you give us an overview? So how does one figure out what human design, I don't know what the word is, category that they're in? And I think there's about 5. And then are you able in this session to kind of tell us about at least, a few of them?
Yeah, totally. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull Natalie's chart up so you guys can see that. Can I do that, Nat?
Yeah.
Okay,
go for it.
So this is Natalie's chart, just so you guys can see. And this is what a basic chart looks like. Now you can see there's a lot of numbers and channels and all the different things going on. And what I like to tell people is stay off Google, because Google is a wild, wild west when it comes to human design, and the interpretations are super confusing, plentiful. And so what I like to say is find someone like myself, or someone that you trust, that is a certified human design reader, that can really land it for you in a way that's forwarding and serves you, because there's several interpretations of everything, so stay off Google. But this is what a basic chart looks like, right? Now, you can go to, you can type in to, the only thing I'll let you do is you can type in Google and go to like my human design chart, and you can type in your name, your date of birth, your location of birth, your time of birth, and you'll see it'll spit out all this information, which will kind of be like gibberish to you because you won't really understand unless you have someone explaining it. So pulling up Natalie's chart today, you can see her energy type is a generator. I coincidentally am a generator.
Surprise, everybody.
Yeah, it really is no surprise with Natalie. I'm also a generator. There's 4 other types. There's generators, and then we have projectors, manifesting generators, manifestors, and reflectors. Now, generators are one of the more common types. Generators, along with manifesting generators, make up around 70% of the population. And here's the thing about this, is that they make up 70% of the population, and we live in a society that is basically geared towards serving 8% of the population, which are manifestors. And manifestors are the energy type that they have what we call a selective aura, right? So they come in and people that are around manifestors, you're almost like, oh, they're kind of cold, or because their aura knows exactly what they need and want to start a movement, to initiate, to inform. So their strategy, how a manifestor interacts with the universe, is to initiate, to inform, to get things started. Most kings and queens up till the 1800s and people that created big movements, like think Martin Luther King, Susan B. Anthony, manifestors, right? They can initiate and start movements, and then they tell everyone else, come on guys, fall in line. This is what you need to do. Their slogan, I like to say, is like the Nike slogan, just do it. Now we live in a society where it's like, if it's to be, it's up to, like, if it's, if it's meant to be, it's up to me type of thing. I need to get things going. I need to start. I need to push. And that is incorrect for manifesting generators, and actually every other energy type aside from a manifestor. We all have strategies of waiting, which, let's go to Natalie for a second.
Yeah, because I don't really wait around. Interesting.
Yeah, and the thing is that generators, the last thing they want to do is wait, because they want to get shit done. They're the hustlers, the doers. They're like, because Natalie has here, if you see right here, this is the sacral chakra. It's defined. It's her motor. It's what's driving the energy. She has unbounding energy and life force. When Natalie creates win-wins, meaning that when Natalie is only doing the things that she loves, she'll have unbounding energy, and that allows the world to win because her energy lifts up other people. It's why when people leave Natalie, they're like, wow, I feel so good. I feel amazing. I love hanging out with Natalie. Now, if Natalie doesn't love hanging out with them, it's not a win-win because her energy is getting drained. If a manifesting generator or generator are doing anything in their life that they don't love, like it doesn't light you up, you are going to lead yourself to burnout. And the biggest downfall with generators is that they clog. Now, generators have these wide auras, wide. And the biggest downfall is that they clog the aura with saying yes to things that are actually a no, because, well, they can do it. I can do it. That's easy. I know how to do that. I don't really want to do it, but I'm going to do it because I can. And so generators, also manifesting generators, can fall into this trap. The biggest way to clear out your aura, to decondition for a generator, is to stop saying yes to things that are a no. Stop saying yes and be really honest with yourself. And for Natalie, her decision-making process, and now, I go into this in more detail because each person has an authority, which is your decision-making process. And Natalie's is sacral, which is yes, no, So Natalie, here, I'm going to call her out because I do the same thing too. And it's a practice, right? If she ever tells you, oh yeah, I'll think about it. Oh, I'm not really sure. She knows. She already knows. She knows it's a no. She knows it's a no, or she knows it's a yes. immediately.
I always say to my kids, if it's not a yes, it's a no. Like and I guess I'm kind of enforcing my way of deciding onto them, which
Yeah.
is good to be aware of, because they're not even generators. None of them. I've got 3 kids, none of them are generators, because
Yeah.
I'm just like, yep, or nah. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
And
a no
that
from me.
exactly. Now they might, even if they're not a generator, if they're like, let's say a manifesting generator, they could have sacral, but I know you have some projectors in your family and they wouldn't have a sacral because projectors are non-energy beings. But the sacral people, I like to say that slogan of like full body, fuck yes or hell yes. That's meant for sacral people. None of the other authority types should be doing that because that doesn't align for them. And so you see what's starting to happen is we have these one size fits all rules, and each person has a different decision-making process and a different energy type, and are served better by interacting with the universe differently. But we teach and preach in our society, and and parents do this too, that it's got to be this one way. And so, for me, I'm also sacral, and something that I had to decondition over the years is I was told, you're so impulsive, Malaine. You have to weigh out your pros and cons. You can't just know immediately. Why are you making moves so fast? That doesn't make sense, etc. And so for each person, there'll be unique deconditioning processes for them. But for generators in general, it's really this: stop saying yes when it's a no. Stop doing things because you can or you think you should, or out of duty, obligation, loyalty. Yeah, but she's been such a good friend for so many years, I have to help her move. No, you don't. If you don't like helping people move, then access what you can do that lights you up. Hey, you know what? I don't really like helping you move, but what would feel really good is if I could buy you some dinner on the day that you move, like
Nice.
that feels good for me. Because if
That's funny, because I even say to people, hey, listen, I'm not really one to like make food and drop it off, but let me know, if there's something else I can go grocery shopping, or let me know if I can do something else for you. Like, I actually say, this is the thing I don't want to do, but let me know what else.
So amazing. So manifesting generators, you guys are kind of similar to generators. You have these defined sacrals, but you also have a defined throat. And that's what makes you a manifesting generator, because you have both of these and a couple of other things, but just to kind of simplify it. Now, manifesting generators, similarly to a generator, have wide auras. So the biggest, quickest deconditioning for you guys is stop saying yes to things that are actually a no, because you have an even bigger energy. You have 2 motors running. So you walk in, you're like superhuman. Think of Tony Robbins. He's a manifesting generator, right? Big, big, big energy, can do it all. Doesn't mean you should. Only doing the things that you love. And the other thing with manifesting generators is that they're the one energy type that must not niche themselves. Whereas all the other energy types, niching does work in business. Manifesting generators, and here's the deal, like there's so many entrepreneurs out there preaching niche, 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 niche. The manifesting generators that come work with me, when I tell them you're not meant to niche, it's like this exhale. They're like, oh, thank God, I was having such a hard time. I couldn't figure it out. And the other thing for them is that they aren't meant to commit long term. They're meant to really be in the moment. And so don't peg down manifesting generators to like, hey, what are you doing in December? Do you want to, book in a holiday? Tentatively pencil it in, but then support them by rechecking in to see if that thing's okay again. Like, that's the biggest deconditioning process for them, especially if you're a parent of a manifesting generator. I think, Natalie, you are. I think you have 1 manifesting generator, maybe more. Let's say that one of the kids is doing ballet or karate or cheerleading, and they get halfway through and they're doing really well, and they say, you know what, Mom, I'm done. And you're like, no, you're not. We commit in this family. We go all the way in. This is what we do. It might not be what Natalie says, but
that's what my husband says exactly. And I'm like, hey, dude, if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it,
Yeah. And for a manifesting generator, that's important, because they learn really fast. They get their lesson, they get their blessing, and they're on to the next thing. holding and pigeonholing them in, like, you must do ballet until you're, the master, is not going to support them. But again, we live in a society where parents have been conditioned. It's not, it's not the parents' fault. It's the world in which we live in, which is like, commit, you go all the way in. Otherwise, who are you really? Not a good person. But for manifesting generators, that doesn't serve them.
I got to jump in, Malaine, because for those of you that don't know my background, I started out as a parenting author. So parenting, anything that helps with parenting, I'm in, and I discovered the personality types and shared some of that in my book. And I was like, my goodness, how can I get to the age of 30, whatever I was? And I'm like, how could I not have heard of this before? So I love anything like this, the human design. I mean, I only learned about it a few years ago, but it helps us to parent better, to understand our partner better. And then, most of my people in the business world are coaches, holistic healers, speakers, authors. And for us, what you said before, like, not everyone needs to niche. Oh my goodness. That's going to be music to the comment below, you guys. Comment if you're watching the replay or if you're on the live with us. Is that music to your ears when Malaine said, listen, hun, you don't need to niche if you're a manifesting generator. So that is super, super cool. Whereas I think there's a certain other type that definitely needs to niche and hone into their actual area of genius. So can you comment on that?
Yeah, totally. So I call them Manny Gens. So
I love it. Manny Jennies.
Manny Gens. I have like little nicknames for them all. Manny Gens, you guys, no niche. Like, let's keep it simple. Do not niche. Also, if you're in business, no Facebook ads. No Facebook ads, no cold calling. And I go into this in a lot of detail, and I'll share with you the opportunity. It's like a 3-day thing, and I'll be going into this more. But generators, niching, yes, because generators will find satisfaction in life. And see here, it says Natalie's signature. I believe, does it say it on here? It might not say it. But anyway, Natalie's signature, when she's living in alignment, is satisfaction. Generators, they feel satisfied. It's like, oh, life is good. They're in alignment. Same with a manifesting generator. Difference with a generator is that generators find satisfaction through mastery of a skill set. So it could look like, let me give a little bit more of a simpler example. So you like playing guitar. So you start playing guitar. You're like, oh yeah, I really like playing guitar. I'm gonna play guitar and make money. This is fun. You know what? No, actually, I like teaching guitar. I'm gonna teach guitar. No, I don't really like teaching guitar anymore. You know what I want to do? I want to own like a studio. I like owning studios. Yeah, I'm gonna own a studio. And then actually, no, I don't really want to own studios with the guitar. I want to start like a record label. That's what I'm gonna do. And see, but there's still a thread between. So for generators, there's always a thread that's coming through. If you want to think of big people that are generators, Oprah, Beyonce, J-Lo, when generators are in alignment, it's like sparkly and glowy and big, 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 big energy. People want to be around generators. They're very magnetic. Same with manifesting generators. Projectors, which make up around 20% of the population, are the newest energy type. They're the thought leaders, the visionaries, the seers. They have a vantage point that none of us have. They're here to tweak, guide, lead, show. They're non-energy beings. So, my husband's a projector, and if he tries to keep up with his house of generators, he will burn out. Projectors, especially because there's 3 different types of projectors. The energy projectors have a tendency to burn out quite quickly because they have an energy center that's defined. So they have some energy and they're like, yeah, I can keep up with generators. I can hustle, 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 go, go, go. And then they flatline. And when that happens, usually disease or sickness like plagues them again and again and again. They're not here to do that. They're here to really hone in on a very specific skill set. They're the ones that are like, micro niching is for projectors, micro. So generators and manifesting generators, their strategy with the universe is to respond. So when their aura is deconditioned and it's open, the universe just throws them things that they can say yes or no to. And they're just here to respond to that. So not to reach out and initiate things, but to wait to respond. So Natalie might be driving and on a billboard, it's like salsa dancing. And she's like, yes, I want to do salsa dancing. And then she signs up for a class. She doesn't just wake up in the morning and go, yes, I'm going to do salsa dancing. That wouldn't serve her. Or like, yes, I'm going to reach out to everyone to get my program going. She'd be, let's say, at the gym. This just happened to me, actually. I'm at the gym and someone goes, so what actually do you do? And I'm like, glad you asked. Now I can respond and then invite them to come work with me, play with me, etc. But if I walked in and I was like, okay, who am I going to talk to today to get into my class? Wouldn't work. That's the same strategy for generators and manifesting generators. Now, projectors, your strategy is to wait to respond. So to wait for the invitation. So it's a slightly different. You need to be invited into. Do you want to join us? And projectors have this penetrating aura that comes in and like pokes people, like, invite me, invite me, invite me. And it's funny because like my husband, all his career, he's never had to put a CV out. He always gets the call to get the job. Always. Like people find him on LinkedIn and they're like, hey, I saw your LinkedIn, was wondering if you'd be interested in this job. He's getting invited into the job. He's not seeking the job out. Now, it doesn't mean that projectors can't show up. You need to show up, shine your light, shine your zone of genius, but then wait for the invitation. Like someone hits like or comments, that's the invite. And the one thing that projectors, when they're out of alignment, they're very bitter and like resentful and just not an energy that you want. You're, ew, I don't want to be around that. You don't know why, but you're just like, ugh. And so their main decondition is to stay out of that bitter energy, that resentful energy, because when they do, they're here to be really successful. Like success is their signature. And I think for projectors, their biggest downfall is they are constantly looking outside of themselves to get validation, or, they're jealous that someone else has success. And the reality is that when they recognize their worth and their value without needing the validation, their lighthouse will just shine so bright and everyone will come flooding to them. A lot of amazing leaders are projectors, especially in the entrepreneurial world. There's a lot of really amazing thought leaders that are projectors. The generators, similarly, have a tendency to look outside of themselves of like, oh, what is she doing? Oh, she got that result faster. Let me go do that. So each energy type, as you see, kind of has like their little deconditioned spots that are more of their pitfalls than other energy types. And it's also not like a generator is here to be satisfied. That's their signature. But so is everyone, but that's just more for them. That's how they know they're in alignment. A projector's meant to be successful. It doesn't mean a generator or a manifesting generator or a manifester isn't meant to be successful. It's just that projectors know they're aligned when they're creating success, if that makes sense.
Do projectors need actual downtime? Like maybe not a nap daily, but like, with the like some people might be watching going, oh my gosh, yeah. Well, that's why my sister's always burning out. Like, or that's why, because I haven't ever had burnout as such. Maybe it's because I'm a generator. I don't know. Maybe it's because I do know how to say no to some things, but so for the projectors, just health and wellness wise, like, do they just really need to learn how to actually rest and it's okay?
Yeah, they need to learn how to rest and be okay with that and understand that that's just part of their design. A lot of projectors try to keep up with generators, and it's especially in the entrepreneurial world or running their own business, and they need to keep in mind they weren't designed to run. It's like projectors are the bird on the branch, and the generators and manifesting generators, and let's just say the G's and the MGs right now, because the manifestors and the reflectors we'll talk about in a second, are like cheetahs on the ground, are like, yeah, we're going. And projectors think they're the cheetah and they just get trampled on. They're like, yeah. But the thing is that what's so magical about projectors is that they can fly. We can't. They can see from a vantage point that we can't see. And so it's not that there's one design better than the other. It's that each has their own unique, masterful skills and, zones of genius, etc. So yeah, for projectors, the ideal is 2 to 4 hours a day really working in your craft. And then the rest of the day, it's not that you're meant to like sleep the whole day. The rest of the day is filling up your cup, whether self-care or reading intel and information that helps you master your craft. So if you're working for a 9 to 5, it's not that you can't sit at the computer. It's that you want to be learning more of the time than you're actually like teaching, doing, making those phone calls. So like for my husband, he's in sales. He loves sales. And he does sales calls for about 2 to 3 hours a day. Perfect. And the remainder of the day, he's learning how to get better at his craft. So projectors can be in 9 to 5 jobs. Any energy type can as well. It's just learning how you're best served in each.
Are we done with my chart? Because if so, I'll bring you back so I can see your full face.
I can close your chart.
Okay. I just keep looking over to the side to see you. I wanted to ask you, I know you've got 2 other types to mention, but
Yes.
at some point I'd love to know, what results have you seen in people's either life or business or relationships as a result of them, grasping and understanding the human design concept?
Yeah.
For themselves, understanding themselves better.
Totally.
Yeah.
The last 2 energy types I'll briefly touch upon, and then I'll go into what results I've seen. The last 2 types are less common. They're the manifestor as well as the reflector. Together, they make up around 9% of the population. Reflectors are 1%, and manifestors are about 8-ish%. So manifestors, again, they're here to inform, to initiate. They're energy beings, but they have urges and surges. So they have this idea that that hits them. They get this download from the divine. They're like, oh my God, yes. And they have to birth that. And they have all this energy and they're really excited. And then after it, they're like, and I need to rest. Right. And so they need to rest, and they don't have this consistent energy flow like a manifesting generator or generator. They are alphas in their family. So I think if you are a parent and you've learned that your child is a manifester, they know how to parent themselves. They know exactly what they need. And so the conditioned way of parenting, like, I'm the parent, you're the child, you listen to me, you do what I say, does not work for a manifester. It needs to be a collaborative experience. You need to ask them, hey, what would you like? And you really get to trust them because they're visionaries. And so the way they see things is going to be vastly different from the way you see things. And their biggest deconditioning is not running things by other people, not opinion shopping, because it'll actually slow down the vision coming to life, if you will. And reflectors are a very, very rare breed. They're 1%. I call them the unicorns in human design. They have no defined centers, which makes them a reflector. Sandra Bullock is a famous reflector. Teal Swan, who is in the personal development world, she's a reflector. Reflectors, they are basically here to reflect back to us how well we're doing or what we need to see. They can be wildly successful because they can morph into and kind of be a chameleon in the environment that they're in. So the environment's so important for a reflector, and reflectors tend to have, if they're not mindful of their environment, they can have issues with their skin or other like diseases that are going on because they're so susceptible to everything around them. So for like business and life, any reflector that I speak with, I'm like, first and foremost, environment. What are you eating? What are you surrounding yourself with? Like, let's get really clear because this will change the game for you. Now, you thought you had it bad because you have to wait to respond or wait for the invitation. Reflectors need to wait a lunar cycle for their answers to come through. And you're like, wait a minute. So they have to wait like 28 days to decide on dinner? No, they just need to wait 28 days to decide on, big life decisions, collaborations, etc. And they'll start to see themes within each of those 28 days. So let's say like day 20, a question comes up. They'll know that like by at the end of that cycle in 8 days, they'll know the answer. It's not like they have to keep waiting. They'll find that each cycle has like a theme for them. So the results that I've seen, honestly, Natalie, are people feeling just confident and comfortable in who they are. A lot of the information that I share with them, they're like, I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. Oh my God, that's me. That's me. That's me. But it gives them permission to release and go, oh my gosh, I'm no longer going to listen to that or follow that formula or allow those other things to influence me. I'm just going to powerfully step in and own that this is who I am. And this has always been my truth. I was just holding on to these conditionings that, because I thought I should be, or society told me to be. And then when they are really owning their truth and they just start to fall into deeper and deeper alignment, money shows up and relationships have shown up and people have just like released weight, like it's water coming off of them. Because I do also go deeply into digestion and food and all of those things for each energy type. And and I think the biggest thing too is that people, they just feel so satisfied and happy with their life because they realize that they have everything they need already. They just needed to step into who they really are.
I love that too, because it's not that guru mentality where you're following this person and you're following that person. It's like, it is about you and understanding who you are and stepping into and being proud, loud and proud about who you are. Like I often ask the question, who do you want to be in 2023? Well, you want to be yourself, but understanding yourself and honoring that. And so, for example, the projectors honoring that it's okay to have a nap, the generators honoring that it's cool that you make snap decisions. Whereas the reflectors, as the word implies, they need to reflect a little more and they might take longer, 28 days. So I think
28 days to be exact. But it's also great as a business owner to understand that when you're in sales, some people need time to think about it because they might be in an emotional authority or a different authority type than sacral. Some people know right away. And I think that that's really great because like you were saying earlier in the beginning of this interview is that each of us is different, no better or worse, but when we can all understand each other, we can find this alignment together and really respect each other's processes in coming to decisions or visions for our lives.
For my coaching club this week, we're looking at, sales funnels and landing pages. And it's like, this is so timely for me to also mention, hey, you guys, not everyone is you have to be in alignment on your communications and your marketing. You can't try to be someone you're not just because someone else had success with that formula or that, right?
Totally.
That languaging. So it's like, be who you are in your business, but also realizing, like you said, not everyone is going to make a snap decision like a generator. If someone takes ages, it's not because they don't like you, it's because maybe they're a reflector. So that allows people, I think, to just go, oh, okay, and allow the process to happen. But what you said about inviting is interesting too, because sometimes people look back at their posts on social and realize, oh my God, I'm not putting out any actual invitations. I'm just sharing my journey, but I'm not actually inviting anyone. So no one's going to step in. It's like, click.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, CTAs, and I go into this a lot in my course that I do around this, CTAs for each type are a little bit different. And, and the response that you'll get will be different depending on the type, because each type responds differently. And one thing I want to say is that with sacral authority, most generators are sacral authority, so they'll know right away. But some of you generators that are like, but wait a minute, I don't feel like that resonates with me. That might be because you're an emotional authority. You can be a different authority type as a generator, and then you might have to wait for an emotional wave to run through, and then you revert to the yes, no. So with authorities, it's more specific. There's more authority types. But just know that each of you has your own decision-making process. So if the way, someone else in your life makes a decision doesn't resonate with you, it's probably because you have two different authorities.
Well, I think that leads us so nicely into, I want to hear a little bit about the 3-day event that you're doing, because hopefully this has percolated some thoughts for people. And my hope is that people go away, like, feeling that relaxed, like, oh, like the way I am showing up, and realizing when they are out of alignment, oh, that makes sense. I said yes to that, but I actually didn't really want to do it. Oh, I'm out of alignment. And just noticing, and it's so easy to do in those micro moments of every day when we step out of alignment and then bringing ourselves back in, and hopefully we get better at it. So I know there's obviously clearly so much more to learn. So you've got this thing coming up. I think it's called Align and Thrive. What's it all about?
So Align and Thrive is January 31st to February 2nd if you're in New Zealand at 1 p.m. New Zealand time, for those 3 days. And what I'm going to do in those 3 days is each day we're going to cover something different in human design. We're going to go deeper into the energy types, the authority types. How do you make a decision? And then something that I didn't even get to touch upon today are the profiles. Everybody has a different profile. For instance, Natalie's a 3-5, the great life experimenter. I am as well. 3-5s are here to get dirty. They're here to experience. They learn through experiential learning. They learn through falling, skidding their knee, and then they go and they say to their audience, hey guys, I just skid my knee, and this is what I learned, and this is why we all need to buy these products to protect our knees, right? So that's a little bit about 3-5s, but like each of the profiles has like this personality that starts to really enhance. And then as it all kind of comes together, you can really see how you best align with your energy type, but which just allows you to open up to receive all the things that you deeply desire without feeling like there's blocks or obstacles.
I love that. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, what another great topic for us, how to grow your business using human design. There's so many ways this can apply to your life, which is what I love so much. Okay. How do people sign up? I will put the link below after this, and I will also message it out, and put it on my link tree as well.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, there's a unique link that's for any of Natalie's viewers, so you guys can come, but it's super reasonable. I want everyone to have access to this information. That's why I'm going to do a 3-day event. And then if you want to go further, there's other ways that you can go deeper into it. But at least knowing your energy type, your authority type, and your profile will give you the ability to start playing and applying it in your life.
Yay. Awesome. Amazing. So comment below, guys, if you've got questions. We will come back and check them out. We'll type some answers to you. I've got a quick one to wrap up from the session, the 2 hours workshop I did with you. You talked about the throat, and I know that you and I have a really similar profile. Can you just elaborate on that for me?
Totally. So in everyone's chart, there's energy centers, right? There's actually 9 energy centers, similar to the chakra system, but there's a couple more. And there's actually more coming in 2027, but that's for a whole nother conversation. So the throat, each energy center is either defined or undefined. Natalie and I have undefined throats. There's a lot of conversation that we can go into around this, but one of the things around an undefined throat is that you're not here to speak your truth. You're here to promote the truth in areas. So being a representative of movements or ideas or belief systems is really important for you. So it's not like, hi, I'm Natalie, and this is my story, this is my truth. It's like, hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm sharing my stories to support this movement of, low tox living or living in alignment or whatever, like I say, hi, I'm Malaine, because I have an undefined throat as well. I'm an alignment coach, and I'm going to show you through the modality of human design and the modality of this and the modality. And so I'm speaking up for these modalities, not like, and this is my unique truth. People that have defined throats are here to really speak their own truth and to hone in on that. And that's important for business messaging.
So good. There's so much gold to cover. Awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And like I said, if you've got questions, message us. We'll see some of you on Malaine's program next week. If you're watching this and her program has come and gone, I'm sure you can reach out to her or me and just see what's going on, because she's always got amazing things going on. What else have you got coming up in 2023?
So tons. There's a lot of stuff coming up. So we have the Align and Thrive. And then after that, on February 1st, for those of you that catch this before that starts, I'm starting a course called Living by Design, which is a 6-month container supporting people and going really deep into their unique design and mapping out unique processes so that they can create results in every area of their life according to their design, so that it becomes a lot easier for them.
Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Malaine, darling. So good to see you. Thank you everyone for watching. We've got tons of other episodes actually on the Wake Up Your Woo show. It's my Rumble channel, which I started in late 2022, and it's carrying on after a beautiful holiday that I've been having. So check that out on Rumble. It's called Wake Up Your Woo. It's GoToGirlNZ is the handle. You can also follow me on Instagram, GoToGirlNZ. Malaine, where can people follow you? I'll put the links below, but just let us know.
Yeah, you can follow me. My handles everywhere are Malaine Leah Butler, Lee, Leah. and that on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the places.
Awesome. All right, guys. So amazing to see you. And until next time, remember to wake up your woo and up your brave. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.